Support roles in hero shooters generally cater to two types of people. Oh, you thought this was gonna be a holiday video? I got bored. On one hand, we have players who find it fun to simulate clocking into a 9 to 5 rather than actually getting one. And on the other, we have players who don't want the responsibility or have the skill to fill the role of DPS. Hello, I am Players. Marvel Rivals is a game that tickles my support funny bone in a way no other game has managed to, besides League of Legends. Really? Besides League of Legends? We don't talk about League of Legends. Fortunately, Rivals has quite the cast of characters that fill this support, starting with a blonde maiden wearing white and blue, who is best known for her unkillable healing circle, a blonde maiden wearing white and blue, who is best known for her unkillable healing mist, a not blonde maiden wearing white and blue, who is best known for her unkillable healing circle, and of course, Luigi.
Tyler White, yo.
He's kind of busted. Now, if you're any normal player, you're gonna want this guy on your team due to his insane healing numbers and broken ultimate ability. If you're me, you're gonna want this guy on your team because he is functionally Black Panther if he traded being the King of Wakanda for being a minority. Yes, you heard that right. The South Park difficulty slider does not in fact apply in the Marvel Universe. Because in a world of superheroes, people just really hate superheroes. Or at least just people who were born with powers. Getting that shit secondhand is totally fine. Meet Remy LeBeau. Better known as Gambit, is a man sold to thieves as a baby because of how black his eyes were. Debuting in 1990, prime year of the Mazda Miata, this guy boasts the power to charge anything with kinetic energy. This means he can effectively turn anything he touches into a bomb. And luckily for my comment section, as well as my sanity, Part 4 came out 2 years after this, making Killer Queen a Gambit reference. In Marvel Rivals, he is one of the most recent healers to drop into the Chronoverse, and the concept of healing others with improvised explosives came as a surprise to many, until Deadpool dropped 3 months later and started healing players with Desert Eagles. Another surprise to many is that Gambit fills every sub-role you could think of. Need more damage? Gambit deals that. Need utility? Gambit provides that. Diver's giving you a problem? Gambit can just fucking join them. Starting with his primary fire, he throws a flurry of 3 cards in front of him. Each deal and heal 20 and 26 damage respectively, with 7 shots load and no ability to crit. There's nothing special about this on its own, but keyword being on its own. Next up are his 2 core movement abilities, being a dash and a Bayou Bash, where Gambit slams his bow staff on the ground and deals 60 points of whatever the fuck to anybody caught in the explosion. This is also not that special on its own. If you bash while doing a dash, you can spend a charge of Bayou Bash to perform Big Easy Impact, which is an upgraded dash that deals 3 instances of 25 damage, or 15 healing if you're boring. He has 2 charges of both, so don't be afraid to use them just for the sake of it sometimes. Next up, we have a deck of cards. I want to say on their own they aren't much, but I would very much be lying. On its own, it heals Gambit 20 health per second and gains the ability to flush or raise his hand. Flushing sends out a card that bounces around friend group to friend group, picking up new personalities as it goes. Some might call this card a narcissist. I call this card a bridge boost. It heals 50 HP per round. Or you can instead raise your hand to explode yourself. So you know Kiriko from Overwatch, that hero everybody loves? You know that ability everybody hates? Yeah, here it is. 7 without iframes. Healing 70 damage per proc, punches everything in the game, and I mean everything. Got sent into astral form? Raise. Rooted by Groot? Raise. Kidnapped by colonizers in the 16th century? Raise. If you already hate this ability enough, you can do it twice. On the other side of the deck, we have Breaking Spades. It's a solid 10% damage boost, which means his offensive abilities actually deal 66 and 82 damage respectively if utilized properly, which doesn't seem like much, but you have to remember, his one-shot combo uses 2 autos and a Big Easy. Oh yeah, did I mention Gambit has a one-shot combo? It looks like this, by the way. And that's the easy version. The hard version looks like this. Back to the deck, you once again have the option of flushing and raising your hand. Raising your hand makes you explode. Again, honestly, nobody really uses this ability in most cases. The main upside to this ability is knocking somebody off a cliff or point, or if they're at like 2 HP and you decided you didn't want to aim anymore. Flushing your hand sends out a card to explode wherever you throw it. The card, anti-heals. Now, it's not total anti-heal like an Honor Grenade or Strange at max stacks, just 25%. But in a game where both healing and damage numbers are higher than my brother in his Audi S5, you can definitely feel the hurt. Both of these abilities supposedly deal 70 damage, but I tested this shit in a firing range. Explosive Trick definitely does slightly more than that. This move is also slightly faster to combo out of your dash. And the moral of the story? FF15's support gap. All deck abilities have a shared cooldown using 4 cards below your crosshair. If you aren't playing the fun way, make sure you keep at least 2 of those cards to cleanse because that ability goes a long way against crowd control ultimates. On the topic of ultimates, it's now time to talk about Gambit's most broken ability and the best support ult in the game, even after the nerfs. So, like I mentioned at first, most meta healers' ultimates consist of a circular area that makes you nearly unkillable as well as some other effects. So for example, Sue makes everything inside invisible, Luna can give a 40% damage boost instead of healing, and Rocket is a part of this list now. Gambit's whole shtick is... well, not really making you unkillable, but just about fucking everything else. Like, I swear, NetEase decided to take Moon Knight's random bullshit and just put it into the buffs for this ult. Here, let me name off the effects. 55 healing per second, 40% movement speed boost, 25% damage boost, 20% ult charge boost, jump boost, and cleanses on activation, which only needs to be done once, which also works through walls. Now, would you believe me if I said I really don't give a rat's ass about this ability? Yeah, it's completely busted, and if your team knows how to utilize it, is the sole reason why people say Gambit is pick or ban, but I just find it kind of boring compared to the rest of his kit. There is one thing I will give it tons of credit for when it's due though. Whenever I do pop it, my favorite thing to do is just jump into the enemy backline and attack a support or two. If you've been paying attention, you may have noticed I've been referring to different ways of playing Gambit. What I like to deem the normal, boring way, and then there's the forbidden fruit that is Dive Gambit. It speaks for itself why playing a support as a DPS is seen as a taboo, but come on, this hero's kit is so much fun to do it with. Now, I will say, if you do want to bring this into ranks, you can, just make sure to work with your team about it, heal when you need to, and communicate when you're going for a dive, lest you want your team to say you're throwing. Speaking of, hey, remember when I said I hate how the word slop is overused? Holy shit, do these guys like to throw the word throwing around like it's Thanksgiving dinner. Like, I do understand, the game does have a bit of an issue with that, but there's a stark difference between someone who's completely lobotomized, Spider-Man! Someone who's just having a singular bad game, and someone who thinks they're playing in a 40k tournament. Like, come the fuck on, guys. Rant aside, I do believe that is about all I have to say about Gambit as a whole. There are a few extra tidbits in text that I'll put up on the screen right now, but for the most part, if there's anything else you want to learn about Dive Gambit, it's mostly stuff that applies to Dive as a whole. You know, stuff like timings, positioning, team comps, all that good stuff. And as for this video itself, I'm really sorry about how long it took to put this out. Like I said before, this was originally supposed to be a Hollow Knight video, but then I got insanely burned out and addicted to Marvel Rivals. So I was like, okay, great, I'll make a Marvel Rivals video. A friend of mine made a great video, and then I got burned out of that too. So essentially, this is a video that should have taken, you know, 1 to 2 months to pop out, and it took 3, and there really is no other explanation to that other than I've been going through the worst burnout phase in my 3 years of content creation. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that. But if you did enjoy this video, I would really appreciate you supporting the channel by liking the video and subscribing to it. And now, if you'll excuse me, I am now on to the next project, whatever that may be.